Broncos, 9.5. On the surface, seems a little big. 7-10 last year. Or no, that they weren't 7-10 last year. I got the wrong team up here.
10 wins last year.
Yeah, 10 wins. Sorry about that. I had yesterday's. PFF, 21st in offense, 4th in defense last year.
Yep.
This is a Sean Payton. This team screams Sean Payton. Like when he picked this job, I was like, oh, he picked this for a reason. Off-season moves. Love the signing of Evan Ingram. Dre Greenlaw gets signed. They get the safety from the 49ers. They re-signed DJ Jones. And, yeah, they're just loading up on defense. We'll go through the schedule here real quick. Titans, at Colts, at Chargers, Bengals, at your Eagles. Then this stretch is interesting. Jets, Giants, Cowboys, at Texans, Raiders. That's a lot of wins they could pile up right there. They get the bye. Then they get at Commanders, at Raiders, Packers, Jags, Chiefs, and Chargers. It's a brutal division. I like this team. I'm leaning towards the over on this one. I just trust in Sean Payton. That defense is gnarly. I think Bo Nix is the real deal. I like the pieces that they've put on there. For me, I think they get to 10, possibly 11. I was looking over my picks leading up to. I've had a lot of unders, and it's because I've been waiting on some of these teams like the Denver Broncos. I'm going to be an over on this one. I think they're going to split with some of these good teams like Chargers and the Chiefs. And then I'm looking at Titans. I'm looking at Colts, Jets, Giants, Cowboys, Texans, Raiders twice. I think they pile up some wins. I think they get to 10, possibly 11. What do you think?
So, Andy, I thought we were going to be going fisticuffs on this one because I, too, have a very strong opinion on this team. I love the Broncos coming into this year. And you heard John Murray talking about what do we see out of some of these quarterbacks in year 2. To your point and to his point, I don't think this team is going to need to live and die with Bo Nix in year 2. Like, even if he returns to the pack here a little bit, is it going to be that crazy if they're still right around that same number that they were ranked last year? Defensively is why this team over exceeded expectations, not only in Peyton's first year, but certainly their year last year where they finally break an 8-year playoff drought. They break through, and unfortunately they draw the Bills. No one was going to be beating the Bills except the Bills themselves. And we saw that play its way out. But dude, the way that they got to 10 wins last year was largely thanks to that defense, who I always like looking at yards per attempt. That's one of the metrics that I like looking at when I start my handicapping on what I think about teams, how they match up against other teams. Second best in YPA, both on the ground and in the air defensively on what they were able to do, really stifle what teams look to do offensively. So for me, Andy, not only do I like this 9.5, it's a play that I bet myself. One of my strongest takes coming into the year, Andy, and this is a hot one for sure. So drop below in the comments, tell me what an idiot I am, and then we can circle back when it actually comes true. I don't think Kansas City wins the West this year. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. I truly don't. I think that this is finally the year. It's not just punching bags in that division anymore. And I think you kind of saw it a little bit last year. So, plus 350, I think there's some plus 400s out there for Broncos. Not only do I like them to potentially win this division, I think the Chargers could win it too. It's not just a walk in the park for the Kansas City Chiefs anymore. And this division, more than any, shows you that iron sharpens iron. These teams go out of their division and give everybody tough games. And the reason being because they beat the shit out of each other in division all year long. And I'm also with John that I think the Raiders are going to be a little bit better. So does it seem kind of counterintuitive that I like all of these teams in this division? No, I think that you're splitting with your division and then you have some pretty nice wins. I look at them starting 2-0 out of the gate, and then we're just looking for, hey, where can we find another 8 wins on the schedule? And I think you can find them. So it's a hot take for sure. I like the Broncos over. I like the Broncos to potentially win the AFC West, ending the reign of the Kansas City Chiefs. So, Andy, you and I both pretty bullish on the Broncos heading into the year, and that makes me feel pretty good because I like this team quite a bit.
Wow. I'm surprised.
That's a gauntlet.
Yeah,
it's a gauntlet thrown down.
It's a gauntlet of a division.
You weren't as hot as me, but I'm glad to know that 9.5 doesn't scare you off. 10 and 11 wins. That's what I kind of see on this schedule too.
Yeah, yeah. I see 10 wins there. I'm a Sean Payton believer. I'm a Bo Nix believer. I love what they've done in the offseason. It looks like their running back situation is going to be strong. So, yeah, I'm with you. All right, but Dan and I both agree on the over on the Denver Broncos.